folks, welcome back. If you're a returning guest or if you're brand new, welcome here. I hope you find something you like. And before you leave, why don't you down here in the bottom right hand corner hit like and hit subscribe. It does help a lot, and you'll be sure to see more of my videos. So tonight we are going to make something that I first discovered when I was in the Army, and it's called braised beef. And it's kind of almost an oriental type of food of some sort, maybe. The beef is almost in a barbecue sauce, and then it's put in over rice. We're going to have to braise this beef. Braising is the process of slow cooking in a liquid. And so we're going to braise this beef we're first going to brown it, and then we're going to braise it for about an hour and a half or so before we start to actually dig into the meat of the anyway, before we actually get a good start on actually making the dish. Let's get turned around and let's see where we're going with this. Okay, so the other day I was at the grocery store and I found this 1.25 pound chuck roast here, and I thought, well, that looks perfect for exactly what I want to do with it. And I'm going to open this up. It looks like it's got some pretty nice fat running through it here. And I'm going to remove that fat, larger pieces to start with. I got my skillet preheating over there. I'm going to throw those into the skillet, and I want to render those down. A little bit. Rendered beef fat is what is known as tallow, if you're unaware. If it's pork fat, it's lard. Now, still got a big hunk on this one. There. I'm going to remove this before I go to put the actual meat into the skillet, I think. Now, I kind of want to cube this. Well, bite-sized pieces. I'm going to put them into my breading flour there. Okay, so we've got our meat here in our flour, and we're just going to kind of mix that around into the flour and get it good and coated. I thought I was going to render that fat down, but it doesn't seem to be rendering very well. I'm going to add some additional fat to it. We'll add a little sesame oil here. Sesame oil has a very high smoking point, relatively high, I should say. I'll move those over here to the side. I'm going to go ahead and let's move our meat into the skillet. We want to sear this, meaning to put a good, nice browning on the outside of it. I may have to add a little more oil yet to this. I've got some olive oil here. I'll say that's probably about 3 tablespoons right there. I'll turn my heat up to about medium high. Okay, so we've got a good, pretty good sear going on this meat now. I'm going to remove the those 4 pieces of fat that I put in there. The water to start with. I'm going to turn my heat down to low because I didn't think to get beef broth while I was at the store. What I've got here is a beef base, which is kind of like a bouillon, and it's always good to have bouillon handy in the event of an emergency. I've got chicken bouillon in the cabinet as well. This is going to help add to our flavors as we build here. Now we may end up adding more water to this, and we likely will before we're done. Okay, so I want half an onion, and there's 2 different ways to cut an onion, and one is dicing it, which I'm going to do with the first half of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, if you see the rings here, I'm going to cut kind of an angle across these rings, and then I'll cut down through, and that's going to give me my dice. And when you dice an onion in a long cook, it's basically going to end up melting into whatever it is you're cooking and be indistinguishable that it's even there. Now, when you cut an onion, if I was to just break this, if I was to just cut this off at the end, and you leave these long strings basically in the onion, then it will hold together much better through the cook, which is what I'm going to do with the other half there as we near the end. So basically what I'm telling you, this is going to be a flavoring onion. Nice diced onion. We're just going to put that right in there with our beef. Next, I want about 3 good cloves of garlic. There's one that kind of peeled itself for me. Easy enough. Okay, into our pot this is going to go. Alright, so as you can see, we are boiling, and I've got this turned down to low, but now I'm going to turn it down to very low, as low as it'll go now. So we've got our garlic, our onions in here. We're going to add a couple more things. I'm going to add a couple teaspoons, that'd be the little ones, of soy sauce. Two teaspoons. I watched a video recently of Justin Wilson. Justin Wilson was known as the Cajun Cook, and my ex-wife and I, we used to love to watch him when I was in the Army, and I was stationed at Fort Stewart, Georgia. And he said in that video that anytime you make an addition to your cooking, you always want to stir it, because you want the flavor to get mixed throughout whatever your dish is. And it's very good advice. I never realized that I was doing that without having seen that video, but maybe without somebody telling you to do that, you may not know. But anytime you add something into your dish, a flavoring, a seasoning, or whatever, you want to go ahead and give it a little stir like that. Alright, so I am going to put this into my oven. I'm going to go ahead and preheat my oven to 275 degrees. We're going to leave it in there for about another hour. Now, before we put this into the oven. I've got a 6-ounce can of pineapple juice, and I'm going to add the whole thing into this. Pineapple juice makes the beginning of a great, almost like a sweet and sour sauce. Stir it up. I'm going to give it a taste. It's required, you know. That ought to change the flavor. Yes, it did. But since I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and add a second one, because it didn't change it as much as I wanted it to. Now, I am not going to put a lid on this as it's in the oven. I want some of that to evaporate and concentrate down. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and prep some of our other ingredients while we've got our meat into the oven. And I've got some ginger here, ginger root, and I've found that if I just use the back of my knife, this is just a paring knife. I suppose you could use a butter knife. It does a pretty good job of peeling that off of there like that. Go ahead and remove that little knot off there. There we go. Well, that smells good. Well, take that little store cut end off of here, I think. Kind of dry it out. I need to move this stuff off to the side. I'm just going to cut this in nice little slivers here. I think I want about maybe a teaspoon worth of ginger. I could have grated this. There you go. It's probably about I'm gonna guess about a tablespoon. I'll go with it. Now, and as I was telling you about the onion, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically, yes I am, I'm basically going to start out the same way I did the last onion, or last part of the onion. That's the reason why you don't put your hands in front of a knife. We're just going to cut the top off of that. And now you will see, we should see, I've got these nice slivers that will go into our sauce here in a little bit. Exactly what we were looking for. Okay, so I got a bell pepper here. Somehow magically got some of the skin from the ginger on it. We're going to seed and core this. And I want it chunky. I want these chunky. All of these vegetables I'm getting ready to put in, I want chunky. The onion, the bell pepper. I'm getting ready to put some mushrooms to it. And I got a jalapeno there too. And lastly, our jalapeno. Now, I don't know that braised beef is East Asian, but I'm kind of giving it that type of feel or theme, maybe, by adding the flavorings that I am. I don't have any Thai peppers, so jalapeno is going to be my stand-in. There's that. Now, I've got some leftover mushrooms from the other day. Mushrooms, I did wash these the other day already. Mushrooms can be very difficult to slice because they're hard to get a good hold of in a finger curl under grip. to keep your fingertips out of the way because of their shape. Alright, so we are ready for our meat to come out of the oven when it becomes time. Okay, so our hour has come and gone. Oh, that's looking pretty good right there. I like it. Now, we're going to go ahead and add these vegetables. Actually, I need to turn my heat on. Because we're going to continue cooking. Do not grab a hold of your pot that just was in the oven. I've done that before. It doesn't take you too many times before it makes you a believer. We're going to let these cook down a little bit. Probably another half hour to an hour. And we may have to add some more liquid. That's alright. I've got my heat on low. I have not put any black pepper in this, other than what was in the flour to bread the meat with. So there's a little of that. Alright, so I'm going to add about a tablespoon of paprika in here. I kind of want to turn it red a little bit. Paprika will not add a lot of flavor. It's actually another pepper. Now there are some paprikas that are actually hot. Well, that didn't darken it as much as I thought it might. Alright, I'm probably going to give this a half hour. Okay, while you folks weren't looking, I made some brown rice with chicken stock rather than water. And we're going to put this right on the top. Now that last half hour is more to soften those vegetables down as anything else. And look at that. Doesn't that look beautiful? I think so. It's time to get turned around. Alright folks, it's time to give this a try. It certainly smells great. I need a piece of meat. Okay, so it's very peppery, meaning that I get a big hit from that bell pepper and that jalapeno. Definitely has some spice from the jalapeno. The meat is beautifully tender. And I got a little bit of the sweet and sour going on. You'd think kind of look like gravy, but it doesn't taste at all like gravy. The sauce and the meat. This is wonderful, folks. Maybe it would pass for pepper beef. I like it. Folks, do me a favor. Once again, if you like what you're seeing down here in the bottom right hand corner, hit like and subscribe. And stay tuned. There's always more to come. And thanks for watching.